Hi, today we will learn Dutch or Netherlands about used to. I will make it in 2 or more videos because we cannot learn it in one video. So this part, we will learn about it later. Let's start it. When you have to say used to or didn't used to in Dutch, these are the examples of the sentences, because if we want to know the real translation for used to, it's hard to find the specific way. So this formation or this kind of sentence, these are the sentences, the examples, when we have to say with this meaning. Like this one. Vroeger zwom ik. Vroeg is early. Vroeger is before or in the past. Zwom is from zwem, zwemmen, swim, swimming. The past version for it is zwom. Ik, I. You can say it like this, or you can add some specific detail if you want with minstens, at least, één keer, one time, per maand, per month. Vroeger zwom ik, or more specific, vroeger zwom ik minstens één keer per maand. Or we can say with this sentence, ik heb, I have, eens, once, per maand, per month, gezwommen. This ge and then the verb, so the verb with the prefix ge, gezwommen, it appears when we use the heb. So when you want to say I used to swim, you can say it with this, or this with this, or with this sentence. I have once per month. This one you can say used to swim. Heb gezwommen. And you can replace this eens or once with minstens één keer, at least one time. So you can say it with ik heb eens per maand gezwommen, eens per maand gezwommen, or ik heb minstens één keer per maand gezwommen. Yeah, replace this one to make it at least one time. Ik at, I, and this one can be translated as ate or eaten. This is the past version or past verb for eat. It's from eaten, but this one we want to say used to eat, so it becomes at. Elke dag, every day, reist, reis. Toen, then, or when, or at that time. Ik, I, in Indonesia, Indonesia, won't lift. This is the past for lift. This is lift. If you want to use or you put the time signal first, you put like this. Toen ik in Indonesia woonde, then or when or at that time when I in Indonesia lived. Toen ik in Indonesia woonde. If you put the time signal or time first, the verb comes right after the time signal words. Here you have ik, and then this is the subject and then the verb. But if you put the time first, you switch. This is the verb and this the subject. You switch this. At ik elke dag, every day, I ate rice. If you want to say didn't used to, this is the example. Ik heb niet, I have not. As we can see, after the have or have in English, in Dutch, the word of the verb, we use the ge verb. It becomes gegeten, gegeten. Have eaten. Ik heb niet, not, elke dag, every day, brood, bread, gegeten, eaten. And then the time signal, toen, then or when or at that time, ik, I, in Malaysia, woonde, lived. It's from wonen, woont. The past for that woon or live is lived. In English, in Dutch, woonde. And now, when we say usually or don't or doesn't, the sentence, ik fiets, I bike, meestal, most of the time or mostly or most of the time, overal, everywhere, naartoe. Naartoe, if you say naar is to, so naartoe can be here and there, can be also everywhere or towards everywhere. So if you translate it word by word, it will be I bike most of the time or mostly, everywhere, here and there, everywhere. But the perfect way is you put the naartoe, even though you already used the overall. If you translate this one is everywhere, but again you put the naartoe to make it really complete, to say everywhere. Again, even though this overall, it means everywhere. This is to or towards. Naartoe is also everywhere or here and there. Towards, here and there. Yeah. Overall, naartoe. Everywhere. If you want to use hij or he, the verb of bike, it becomes bikes. In English, in Dutch, fietst. The rest of the words same. So hij fietst, he bikes, meestal, overal, naartoe. Most of the time he bikes, or he usually bikes everywhere. If ze fietsen, bike. For plural subject, you put fietsen for bike. This is they. Ze fietsen meestal, overal, naartoe. They bike most of the time everywhere. Overal, naartoe. If you want to say I usually don't bike, I don't bike everywhere. Most of the time I don't bike everywhere. You say it with meestal, most of the time, or mostly, or most. Fiets ik niet. So you put the fiets and then you put the ik. So every time when we use the time signal or the time word, the verb comes first. So the verb always in the second position of the sentence. Like this is the time signal, and then comes the verb. This time signal, and then this verb. And this is subject, and then the verb. Yeah. This time signal, and this verb. I need, not everywhere. Overal, naartoe. This one to say I most of the time, or I usually bike everywhere. But if you want to put the negative, that you want to say I don't bike everywhere, I usually don't bike everywhere, you put the sentence in this formation. Meestal, fiets ik niet, overal, naartoe. If you want to make this one negative, this one also in negative, of course we just have to change the verb here. Fietst, subject here, hij. If we want to make this one fietsen, this one ze or zij. Ze or zij is they. And then we might find this sentence. We will read it. Ik fiets meestal niet naar school. This sentence to say I bike most of the time, but not to school. I bike mostly or most of the time, but the exception or excluding to school. You bike everywhere, you usually bike, but to school, when you have to go to school, you don't use your bike, you don't bike. This sentence, the meaning is that way. Ik fiets meestal niet naar school. Or if you want to change into the we or why, or in English we, you just have to change the verb fietsen. We fietsen, we bike meestal, most of the time, or we usually bike, but we don't bike to school. But as exception or excluding or excludes need nar school. Exclude to school. Not to school. Need nar school. And now this part, because we will skip this, we will do it in next video. When you have to say the am, is, are, or was word, not used to, and then verb ing or noun, or in this case this one is gerund. We already learned about this am, is, are, or was word in the previous video long time ago. So zijn, are, ben, am, is, was, were, waren. Depends on the subject that we use. Same with English. There's lots of meaning of but this gewoon and always attached, even though we put it into words. But gewoon, when you use gewoon, you put the you use the The gewoon itself, we translate it as used. Elke dag, every day. Brood, bread. And then when you use the we have the gewoon, that's why we use the But then, because of this something, there's also appear te. That's the rule. Something, te something. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it really in a really specific way, but we use the after the gewoon, and then after the something, we use the te something. Yeah. Ik ben gewoon. I am used to everyday bread eating. Bottom line, I am used to eating bread every day. Ik ben gewend om elke dag brood te eten. This is it. This is used. If you want to say I'm not used to eating bread every day, you put the niet after the ben or before the gewoon. Similar or same with English. Ik ben niet gewend om elke dag brood te eten. If you want to use they, zij, and then zijn. You change the ik with zij, you change the ben with zijn. The rest will be the same. You want to use the niet or you can skip the niet. Depends on the meaning of your sentence. You can also change with hij and is. The rest same. Hij is gewend om elke dag brood te eten. Hij is niet. He is not gewend om elke dag brood te eten. If you want to change into was or were, for ik, for hij, we use was. For plural, in this case we, were. The were in English, the Dutch word for it, waren. If you want to use niet, you put it here. If you don't want to, you just skip the niet. The rest is the same. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, today we will learn Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia about used to. Dulu, long time ago, or in the past. I, berenang, swim, setidaknya, at least, sebulan, per month or a month, 1 month, sekali, one time, before or long time ago or in the past. I swim at least a month or per month, one time or once. As we already learned in the previous videos, that in Indonesian language we don't have verb for something happened in the past. We just use one verb for present time, for the future time, or for the past. But how to know if it happens now or in the past or in the future is by the time signal. Here we see dulu, long time ago or in the past. That's why it's really useful in Indonesian language, this time signal as something to explain when it happens. And I put circle, pink circle, because sometimes we can say suka, but if you put suka, it will change the sentence into an informal or not a formal one. But we use it in daily conversation because Indonesian people, same with me, I talk with casual or slang sometimes or most of the time than with the formal language. When I have to teach or when I have to taught before, sometimes I try to do it informal, but I cannot help myself. I could not help myself to do the conversation in not a formal or casual one. With adding this, suka. Dulu saya suka berenang. This suka is a formal word. It means like. But if we put it here, it becomes used to. Even though this suka, it means like. But suka in informal or casual or slang, daily conversation, it means often. Or can be often, but this time it means used to, because dulu, in the past. So, in the past or before, I used to swim or this suka, yeah. In Indonesia, if you translate the word itself in the slang, suka, it means it's a habit or often happens. Interesting thing, tidak is no or not, but we put the prefix se and we put the suffix nya. This setidaknya, it means at least. This prefix se, it means one or a. Bulan is month, so a month or 1 month or per month. Kali, time, sekali, one time or once. And now here, waktu saya kecil, waktu is time or when, in this time is when. Saya, I, kecil, small. So when I was a little girl, but in Indonesian language we say it, waktu saya kecil, when I small. Saya, I, in this case I want to try to put the tidak or the not. Terbiasa. If you want to translate this one, used to, in a Indonesian word, is terbiasa. Terbiasa, it means used to. Can be in the past, can be in the present, can be for in the future, because this terbiasa is one word, so we can say used to, or can be also for here later, because again the past, the present, or the future depends on the time signal that you use. Makan, eat, roti tawar, slice of bread, or bread that we put jam or we put peanut butter, we say it as roti tawar. We don't say it as bread, but bread itself is roti, but it's different kind of bread. But if you want to be specifically the bread that you put, slice of bread that you put jam on it, or that you put peanut butter, the name of the bread you put tawar. Roti tawar, 2 words. Roti is bread, tawar is plain, no taste. Even though for foreigner, especially from the Netherlands, they found our Indonesian bread, slice of bread, is a bit sweet, even though we say it plain. Roti tawar. Setiap hari, every day. Or we don't use these words, but we use this untuk sarapan, for breakfast. Setiap, tiap is every, but sometimes we also say every with setiap. So one every or every, setiap hari. Even though tiap itself is already every, it's sometimes to make it really formal or make sure we put the prefix se. You can put the tidak to make it didn't, or if you want to make it used to, we don't use the tidak. Ketika, when, kami, we, tinggal, live, di, in or at, Maribaya, a name of an area in my city, in my province. Then we put koma. Saya, I, selalu, always, mengerjakan, do. So again, the verb in Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia can be for in the present, can be habit, can be in the future, can be in the past, because it's just the same word for every time period. In this case, used to do. Do, PR, we write it like this, is pekerjaan rumah. I don't have space here. I will just write it here. I will delete it later. We have to write it with capitals, PR, PR, we pronounce it as PR, pekerjaan rumah is homework. Even though in English is one word, but in Indonesian language we put it as two words, but we put just the initials, PR. Ya. Pekerjaan rumah, work, home. Ya. Sepulang, pulang is go back home, or go home, or go back home. Sepulang, it means as soon as or right after we go back home, right after we arrive at home. So you arrive, the school finish, and then you arrive at home, you just right away do your homework. Sekolah, school. As soon as you go back home from school. Saya, I, or kami, or we. Anak-anak, or anak-anak is children. You have to put it in repeat. Don't forget the stripe. That's how you change the child into children. Anak-anak. Child is anak. In this case, we have to say it as anak-anak. Children, di can be in. That's why I keep making mistake with in or at. Because in Indonesian language, we put same word for it, for them. Di Indonesia. You can use the di, or you can just say anak-anak Indonesia. Children of Indonesia, or Indonesian children, or children in Indonesia. Anak-anak di Indonesia. You can use biasanya. Forgot to put the yellow stripe is here. Biasanya, pada umumnya, pada is in, umumnya in this case is in, because pada can be also to. Umum is general, but to make it as in general, you have to put the suffix here, nya. You cannot skip it. So it's two words, pada umumnya, in general, or biasanya, one word, most of the time. Biasanya. Mostly, or most of the time, or in general. Bangun pagi, wake up in the morning. When we have to say wake up, sometimes we have to add the pagi or morning, Because if you just say bangun, sometimes it's not good enough to say wake up in the morning. So you have to put the morning. Bangun pagi. In daily conversation or slang, you don't have to say the pagi. Sometimes it's okay, but yeah. Pada pukul, in this case, pada is at, pukul is the o'clock, so you put the time here. Or tidur, sleep, sometimes you can put the pergi tidur. Pergi is go, pergi tidur, go to sleep. Same, pada pukul, at what time? The pukul is o'clock, so you put the time here. We already learned about this in the previous video also, about time. And now, we will do this one. Kami, we, hampir or nyaris, almost, can be hampir or nyaris. Tidak, no or not, mengenalinya. This is one word. It means recognizing her, recognizing him, or recognizing that person. Mengenali, recognizing, nya, suffixnya to say her or him or that person, we put it in one word, and then comma. Dia, he or she, or ia, he or she, or the name. In this case I will just put my name, Ira. Tidak pernah. Tidak is no or not. Pernah is ever. So it's never. Tidak pernah. Not ever, never. Or suka is informal, even though the suka itself is a formal word to say like, but if you use this one here, it will change the sentence into a slightly informal one. The formal for this one is like, but if you say it in this sentence, it becomes informal to say it. This one tidak, so didn't used to, because is no or not. Didn't used to. Tidak suka. Memakai, wear, rok, skirt. In this sentence, we don't have any time signal, but that is common in Indonesian language. We are kinda already know, or our brain is already automatically recognize that this happened in the past, even though we don't put any time signal word for it. But we got the idea, this one in the past, and then at some point we met that person, and at that time we cannot or could not recognize. So sometimes it happens, you don't have any idea about, you don't get any time signal word, but you got it. Oh, this one happened first, long time ago or before, and then it happened. We will change this one into didn't used to have long hair. Berambut. Ber is prefix. It means having or have or has. Rambut, hair. Berambut, having hair or has hair. Panjang, long. Have a long hair, have long hair, has long hair. Berambut panjang. Or we change the ber, the prefix ber, into two words now. Memiliki, having, rambut, hair, panjang, long. Or you can also say memanjangkan, make long, and then rambut, hair. Make it long hair, or make long hair, or make hair long. But in this case we put the make long first and then other word rambut, hair. Now this one. Kini, now or at present, or sekarang, now or at present. Or we can also change into setelah beberapa bulan, after several months. In the Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia, already learned in the previous video that even though this is several, this bulan or month, we don't have to change it into months or bulan-bulan, because beberapa, several, we already know that it's more than one, so we don't have to say bulan-bulan. It will be too much if you say bulan-bulan. Yeah, it's not correct. We already know several, just put in single formation. Saya, I, you can choose which word you like, or you can also skip these words. Sudah is already. Mulai is starting to, or start to, or start. Menjadi, be. Terbiasa, same with this one. Terbiasa, used to. Untuk, can use, can skip. For, mengecek, checking. Perakiraan, cuaca. Cuaca is weather. Perakiraan cuaca, weather forecast. Sebelum, before. Keluar, exit. Rumah, house. Sometimes people put keluar in two words. It's different, keluar and keluar. Even though when you say it quick, keluar and keluar, there's no big difference. But when you write it, there's keluar and there's keluar. This keluar is the opposite of enter, masuk. That's why I put it in one word, keluar, because it's the opposite of enter or masuk rumah, house. Some people will make mistake write it keluar. Ke is to, luar is outside. So to the outside. In this case, we don't say it with to the outside. We say it exit the house. And we can also change these words into jadi, become, or sudah menjadi, already become, or mulai menjadi, starting become. So you can change this into any kind of word you like, or words you like, or skip. You can just this and then this and then this, the rest of the sentence. Dulu, before, or long time ago, or in the past. Kami, we. If you want to put the no or not, you can. Here, tidak. Suka, again, to make it as a slang or daily conversation, not a formal sentence, but we use it most of the time. It means often or habit, but to make it formal we say biasa or terbiasa, used to. Mandi, taking a bath, or take a bath or shower. Sehari, hari is day, prefix se, sehari, one day, a day, per day. Dua kali, two times. We don't have to put it as kali-kali, even though this is more than one. We just put it in singular or single formation. We read it as two times. Dua kali. If you put this in plural or kali-kali, it's not correct. Or you can change into tiap hari. Tiap is every, hari is day. Or you can change this one. I just put any kind of possibility that can be found. So after the mandi, we put dua kali, two time, tiap, every, or setiap, every, hari. Or, yeah, there's so many possibilities. Dua kali, two time. You can use or you can skip dalam, in, sehari, a day, one day. Now, we will go here. You can use dulu kami or kami dulu. So, in the past, we, before, a long time ago, we, or we, long time ago, we, in the past, we, before, same sentence. And this one, which one you want to choose, any kind of. Waktu, when. Ketika, when. or selama. Also when you put the person, subject. Tinggal, live, di, in, Indonesia, comma. You can use this or you can skip. If you want to use it's okay. If you want to skip also it's okay. Setelah, after, beberapa, several, hari, day. Kami, we, or yeah, of course we use kami here. Of course here is kami. If this one is saya, you use saya here. Yeah, should be same because same subject. Take off, melepas. Sepatu, shoes. Sebelum, before. Masuk, enter. You can use, you can skip. Rumah, house. Or you use the masuk ke dalam rumah. Ke is to, dalam is in or inside. Or you just say masuk ke rumah. Enter to house. For this dot, we can use the word. You can choose it from the word that we use it here. Can use this or here. And for these words, I will not put it in the sentence. I will just put it here by words. When you have to say can, you can use dapat or bisa or mampu. And then you put the terbiasa, used. So if you want to say, you can, dapat, or bisa, or mampu, and then terbiasa, used. Dengan, with. In English we say it used to, but in Indonesian language most of the time we say it with dengan, with. Used with. It means used to, but we say it with used with. Terbiasa dengan. So just choose which from the can. If you want to say will, akan, and then terbiasa dengan, used to, even though dengan is with, if you translate it the word itself. To make it could or would, we will use the same words, but we make sure we put the time signal to make it as it happened in the past or before or long time ago with ketika, when, or waktu, when, or pada waktu itu, at that time. So we know that it happened in the past. to make it cold or would, we have to add this, you choose any, the time signal words to say it's in the past. Will have to, akan, will, have to, diharuskan, will have to, akan, diharuskan, terbiasa dengan, used to. In this case, you can put two words here. You can put these words also with this word, but there's a bit complicated because with several you can use the untuk, with several you cannot use the untuk, with other you can use the menjadi, and there's some point you have to put the untuk. So to, let's say, the safe way, don't use this one for this word, to the safety reason, or if you want to try to make it mistake or something, because yeah, sometimes can sure not, but yeah, just don't use it, just this. But for this, I will tell it now. You can use this one and this one before you say this one, or you can just say this word and then this one with this one, or you can just say the untuk. So, akan, diharuskan, terbiasa dengan, or akan, diharuskan untuk menjadi terbiasa dengan, or akan, diharuskan menjadi terbiasa dengan, or akan, diharuskan untuk terbiasa dengan. Yeah, there's lots of possibilities. Or just skip it. Akan, diharuskan, terbiasa dengan. These are extra words that if you add will just help to make the meaning strengthen, but if you skip, it's okay. The sentence is complete enough, good enough. Untuk itself is for, menjadi is be or get. Yeah, but we already have get here. Yeah. And sometimes you can also change the dengan with untuk. We can say terbiasa dengan or terbiasa untuk. Terbiasa dengan used to, terbiasa untuk used to. Most of the time I use dengan, because maybe we think that if we say terbiasa untuk, it's a really formal one. Terbiasa dengan is already formal. Terbiasa untuk is a bit more formal. There's nothing wrong to say it with untuk or dengan. Untuk, in this case, a bit poetic, poem. If you use untuk here, terbiasa untuk, you cannot use untuk here. You can just add the menjadi. If you already here. If you already use untuk here, this one has to be dengan, if you want to use untuk, you cannot use untuk here. Yeah. That's why I think it's a bit complicated if I add this one for these words. So this I suggest for this one, and this can be with dengan or untuk. And for this, I suggest to put the menjadi before we add the terbiasa dengan or terbiasa untuk. With these words, I suggest to use the menjadi, be or get, and then again we say the get. Menjadi, be or get, and then terbiasa dengan or terbiasa untuk, used to. May or might can be mungkin, maybe, might, may, might. Mungkin itself, maybe, if you translate it through dictionary. Ada kemungkinan, ada is there or there is. If you add the prefix ke and then suffix an, this mungkin or maybe, it becomes a new word. It means possibility or possibilities. There is possibility or there is possibilities. Or we can say mungkin saja, mungkin, maybe. Saja is only. When we say mungkin saja, it's the same translation with ada kemungkinan. There's possibility. Even though this is maybe and this is only. Mungkin saja. But the meaning same with this. There is possibility. Menjadi, be or get or become, and then we add the used to. Terbiasa dengan or terbiasa untuk. Yeah. So for these words, don't forget the menjadi. And for must, can be harus, must, or wajib. Wajib is required, but in Indonesian word, when we say wajib, sometimes can be overlapped with must, harus. In English, when you say required, requirement is stronger than must. Is really strong when you say requirement or required. But in Indonesia, when you say wajib, can be overlapped with the must, harus. Menjadi, be or become, and then terbiasa dengan or terbiasa untuk. In this case, I can say you can skip the menjadi. Yeah, but to make sure, just for these words here, just use the menjadi. If not, you will think, what? Here you can skip, here you cannot skip, or something like that.